Hi everyone, and welcome to the U Resume. This is actually our first video, so what we're going to do is talk about the STAR interview method. We're going to give you just a couple of questions and answers so that you guys can use them and get ready for your interview. This is actually one of the most popular and common interview methods for this year. So this is just an update for 2020. Hope you guys like. Definitely leave a comment and subscribe and share with everyone that you know. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Now, the STAR interview method. What is it? Okay, so it's a behavioral-based interview method. The interviewer or the recruiter is just going to ask you some questions, basically, and they're going to ask you what you did in that situation. This is more common because it's going to give them a better feel for the candidate and let them know what you would do in a situation and if you actually have experience in that situation. It's an acronym as well. S is for situation, the T is for task, A is for action, R is for result. So basically, when you're answering this, you're going to let them know the situation. You're going to let them know the task at hand for that situation, what action you actually took, and then what were the results of the action, whether that be a negative or a positive result. Just like we were saying before, how does it work? It's basically helps the hiring managers and recruiters validate your skills and abilities. You can write on your resume what you did or your roles and responsibilities all you want. But when you can't relay and actually explain what you did to let them know that you have the experience, it's pretty much useless. Now, how do you prepare for the STAR method interview, right? These questions are a lot different than what are your strengths or what are your weaknesses. These are open-ended questions. You have to be able to remember experiences that fit the exact question that they answer. So what you want to do is just recall events from previous jobs or related experience, right? So say you worked at a job for a year or a few months or even 5 years, you'll have tons of experiences to go by. So just recall anything that was more so work related and see how you can fit those experiences into the interview. Be honest, you guys. Say the recruiter asks you a question and you can't really at that moment recall an experience. Let them know that you need some time. It's okay because, again, they're asking you about your experiences. They may not be in the forefront of your mind. So let them know, okay, give me just a little bit of time to think about it so that I can answer your question truthfully and accurately. Be specific. You just want to make sure you're recalling in your head before the interview so that you can let them know the details. You don't want to go on, you don't want to ramble and go off into the next topic or subject and end up not answering their question. And when you are answering the question, don't use the same examples. They give them variety. They do want someone that's well versed in the position. So if you have more experiences and different experiences to answer the question, you'll be a better off candidate. When we were going over the acronym for STAR, you want to be thorough. So when you're answering the questions, let them know the situation, the task, the action you took, and the result. Don't skip anything. Go through it exactly like that, okay, guys? Now, just here are some tips for preparing and answering the questions for you. I know I went over how to prepare, and these tips are just kind of going along with how do you prepare for the STAR interview method. When you're detailing the events or situations, do so objectively, do so without any bias. Now, here's one thing. A lot of the memories that we have that are in the forefront of our mind, we remember them because they're tied to emotion, right? So say your manager or your peer colleague did something that you didn't like, those will always be in the front of your mind. So when you're letting them know the situation, don't insult anyone, don't talk bad on anyone, don't show anyone in a negative light when you're answering the question. State one goal. This goes along with being specific. The way you can be specific is you answer the question with one experience. Don't veer off. Don't ramble. Just let them know and go when you go in the order of the STAR method, it's easier for you to stay on task with that. And again, just recount the situation in the order of the STAR method. It'll help you stay a lot more focused when you're answering the questions. This is a really big one, you guys, okay? Now, when I said letting them know the result and being honest, whether it was negative or positive, if you didn't achieve the results, say the result was negative and you did not get the task done, you did not handle the situation, you can turn that around and you can explain what you learned from the situation. Let them know how you turn that weakness into a strength. I promise you guys, you're going to do so well if you do this. And this is along with being honest, because there's a ton of situations and experiences that we go through in our career where we failed, and that's okay, because that's how you grow from those situations, right? Now, here's the part where I'm going into the sample questions and answers. I'm just going to give you guys 3 because I'm going to have a link in the description box to our website. And on the website, we have a blog and we have a bunch of these sample questions and answers that you guys can go through, okay? So, sample STAR interview question number 1. Describe a situation in which you were able to use persuasion to successfully convince someone to see things your way. This is a tough one. And the reason why this is tough, because it's very hard to persuade someone, but it's also a very common question. This is common in sales positions or customer service positions where you have a specific goal. Say you have to refer someone, your member, your customer to something, or offer them, or like a sales associate position. This is one of those questions that they may ask you. This is definitely a question that they'll ask you, actually. So here's how to answer. This is one of our sample answers, and it's a pretty lengthy one, so I'm going to just go ahead and read it. As an emergency roadside specialist at my former job, it was my responsibility to arrange tows for members. Members would typically choose their own mechanic. One of the goals at this position was to refer members to our own certified mechanics. A member had worked with their private mechanic for 20 years. However, she was having the same recurring issue with her vehicle for the past 2 months. I let her know there was one of our certified repair shops nearby that offered a warranty on all the work done. Also, her membership got her a discount. That was enough to convince her to visit our repair facility. Now, let's just go over the STAR method and make sure that we hit every point. What was the situation? We're an emergency roadside specialist. We're setting up a tow for someone. But the problem is their car keeps breaking down. It's the same issue. They thought it was fixed, but it wasn't. Your task is to refer this customer to one of your certified mechanics that is within your network, okay? So that's actually a required goal. We're going to assume so with this position. You actually have to meet a certain percentage with every call that you take, right? Now, what action you took? You referred her to a mechanic, let her know it's a discount, which is, she's probably thinking in her head, I've spent so much money on just this problem alone. You're letting her know there's a discount that you have. She's already a member of you guys, so she trusts you guys. The result is she took you up on that offer, right? Good one. So let's go ahead and jump into our second interview question. So sample STAR interview question number 2. Tell me about a time you had to go above and beyond the call of duty in order to get the job done. Again, guys, this is a common question because they want to make sure that you're not just doing the bare minimum. You know, a lot of companies now, they hire and promote within. So when they do that, they look for employees or even candidates that, you know, want to move up. So they're always going to do more than what they're asked of. So let's go ahead and see how we would answer this, okay? I was given an assignment with detailed parameters. However, as I began working, I realized the parameters given would not get the job done. Instead of following the guidelines mindlessly, I went to my manager and explained what I found and what would need to be changed to meet the goal. My manager agreed and was very impressed with my attention to detail and my willingness to do more than what was asked of me. So, second question, okay? Let's see if we checked all the boxes on the STAR method, okay? The situation is your boss gave you a task to do. They actually gave you specific instructions how to do it, okay? Now the task was that the project that they gave you with the parameters, it wasn't enough to get the job done. So you had to figure out what the job what you were going to do. You had to implement a new strategy to actually accomplish this and complete the project. Now, the action that you took is you let your boss know, hey, what you gave me is not enough, but here's what I'm going to do. The result was that they agreed with it, and they actually acknowledged it, and they were impressed with it, and they let you know that your attention to detail is great, and you actually went above and beyond for this project. So that's how we would answer the question. Okay, now we're reading from this prop. Of course, another tip for you guys when you are answering this, you don't want to, we know that you're preparing for the interview, but don't sound like a robot. Make it conversational and just kind of share it. You don't want to just recall. You don't want to go word for word for if you wrote something down. You kind of want to, be relaxed when you're letting them know this so that they know, hey, this person really knows their stuff. So let's get into the last interview question example. So sample STAR interview question number 3. Give me an example of a time when you motivated others. This is another difficult question, and this is a question that you may get when you're applying for a manager or supervisor role, because it's so hard to motivate someone. People can only motivate themselves, right? But when you're a supervisor, you have to get your team or whoever you're supervising, you have to get them to meet the goals that you have in place by upper management and whatnot. Okay? So let's see how we would answer this, okay? Management assigned myself and 4 of my colleagues a group project. We noticed that one of our colleagues was not meeting the deadline for his delegated task. I volunteered to speak with him. I asked him what his goals were for the project. He explained he wanted more responsibility and felt that he was given the small, unimportant task. I went on to explain to him that the small task helped to decide if we're ready for more responsibility. I also stated if he was able to complete by the deadline, I would be more than happy to nominate him for Most Improved Employee of the Month. He was very happy with that and met all of his deadlines. Now, for the last one, we're going to go through our STAR method interview, seeing if we're hitting all those points, okay? So the situation for this one is we have a group project, and one of our peers is not meeting the deadlines. He's not pulling his weight. And this is common. And this is even common when you're doing a school group project. It's always one person who's not pulling their weight. Our task was to get this person to make sure he was pulling his weight so we can actually meet our deadline. The action was we talked to them. We gave them an incentive to do better, which was referring them for Employee of the Month. The result was he agreed. He was happy with that. And he actually met his deadlines. Okay, so we're finished with the last one, guys, and that's it for our STAR interview questions and answers video for 2020. We hope you guys like it. If so, please hit that like button, share this video, because we just want to help the community and we want to give you guys a bunch of free stuff. That'll help you learn and smash your interviews. With COVID-19, we have a lot of people out of work and they're starting to hire people now that we're towards the end of the year. So we're getting these interviews scheduled. So this is just to help you guys get back on track. Again, we hope you like this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Also share this. Thank you guys so much. Bye.